Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you guys how I promoted one of my playlists. I have several playlists. I am a curator on Submit Hub. I really enjoy reviewing songs, but lately one of my bigger playlists has been getting a lot less monthly listeners, unfortunately. This one was around the 200 to 300 mark, but New Pop has now decreased. We can just have a look at the history. You can see that it has recently, in the last month and a half, decreased quite dramatically. And when I had a look at why it had decreased, it was simply because if we have a look at the statistics here, basically the amount of followers was decreasing and sometimes they were negative. And so really these playlists, well, most of my playlists are powered by meta ads. And so what was happening, I think, is initially in the earlier days, I wouldn't call it spectacular growth, but it was growing due to the ads. The ads for New Pop, the whole purpose behind New Pop is it is a pop playlist, so it plays the latest songs and the best songs, but I'm also able to listen to songs from any artist and add them to the playlist, particularly songs in Submit Hub. The reason I'm doing this video is to show you what I have done since I got this negative which kind of scared me, and also the decreasing numbers, and what I'm doing to ramp up the playlist to get more streams. So you can see here it has actually ramped up. A couple of days ago, we got 21 new followers, and every time you get new followers, you're going to automatically get multiple streams. Plus, the playlist already has 3,000 followers, so you get streams from the followers of that playlist as well. Today is the 11th of October. So far, only 8 followers, but it's only 11 o'clock in the morning. This does go up almost real time. So hopefully we can get over the 12 mark today. So I'm going to show you guys how I did it. So just bear with me a sec. We're going to go into Ads Manager. I'm going to have a look at one of my campaigns. This is New Pop. So you can see here, it's a relatively new campaign. I'm spending £5 a day, which is a lot for me. Most of my playlists get £2 a day, but this particular one is getting 5 because I see it as my marquee playlist, as the one where I get the most submissions, and I want to give people more streams for that, for their buck, right? But what's interesting is the cost per result, you can see here, is 8 cents. And if we just do a breakdown by country, you can see that most of them are coming from Brazil and Mexico, but other countries are also. Let's actually expand that out to 7 days. There are also other countries where we are getting streams. There's no harm or shame in getting followers or streams from Brazil and Mexico. A lot of these people have actually got Spotify, the paid version of Spotify. If you want, you can take Brazil, Mexico, and some of the cheaper countries out like Turkey and just focus on tier 1 countries, but that will just make things a bit more expensive, unfortunately. In the last 7 days, I've had 155 conversions. In yesterday, I had 53. So we're looking at about 50 conversions for £5 a day. And as you can see, out of those conversions, you're going to get anywhere between 12 and 20 followers. So overall, that's a fairly sustainable model for this playlist. So I'm going to show you the ad that I created for the playlist. You can see here, this is what the ad looks like. So we can just do a preview of the ad here. Okay, so we'll listen to this one here. Now this ad is over a minute. It's a long ad. They do recommend that your ads are between 20 and 30 seconds, but I don't think that harms this at all. I think people can really get into this, and after they listen to 5 or 6 songs, then they can really get into it and they really want to be part of the playlist. So what I've done here is, I'm not sure if you can notice, but this is actually a screen recording from my mobile phone. Most Android phones have a screen recording functionality, and I've literally gone into, as you can see here, I've gone into Spotify and I've just clicked on the songs. And I'm just going to show you the screen recording. There it is. And what I did is I grabbed the songs from Spotify itself and then I mixed them together. I cross-faded them together so they sound like they blend together. So we'll just take a listen. So what I did is I made sure that the songs were really upbeat and very popular. Any slow songs, like I've experimented with this before, the slower songs people just don't seem to click on the slow songs. So even if they're super popular, they're not really going to work. So you really want sort of poppy, bassy sort of drum. This is if you're doing a pop playlist, but you do want more popular artists, you want more current artists. And so my strategy is something I'm going to have to repeat every 2 or 3 months. And then I go into a video editor and I connect the song with the recording of Spotify on my phone. Let's just go through the campaign. There's only one ad set and only one ad. I don't have enough budget to have more ad sets. I use a pixel called New Pop, which I use for my pop playlist and also for my own releases in the pop sphere. So we continuously give Meta that sort of data that we want. The budget, as you know, is £5. The end date, you've got to always select an end date. You don't know if you're going to get hit by a bus and you're going to keep paying for ads that don't work. In terms of audience, we're going to select all of the countries, which we've already seen. The way I do that is click on browse, and I've got saved locations, and I've got a whole bunch of different types of location: rich countries, lots of countries, goods countries, some of the tier 1 countries and tier 3 countries. Age, basically everyone loves pop music, but that could depend on your genre. Interests is always going to be Spotify. And then we have must also match. This is where there's a bit of a problem because the interests don't always reflect the artists that you're playing on the playlist. So, for example, I don't have any Ed Sheeran songs on the playlist, but he does represent popular music. Madison Beer's on the playlist, Taylor Swift is on the playlist, Tiesto. And then the biggest one, the most important one, is pop music, because that's a billion in terms of size. So that has a huge total amount of followers. In terms of manual placements, I'm tending to use Facebook, Instagram, Shorts, and Reels. I was never a fan of Reels because I just got a lot of comments and not many follows. I think stories are more powerful, but in this case, I've got both of them switched on. Plus, I've got Instagram profile reels, and nothing else is switched on. Everything else is off, and that is it. We've got a reach of that and the conversions of that, but I'm actually exceeding those numbers by double. And if we go into the ad itself, I make sure it's connected to my Instagram account. I often get followers because of this ad or similar ads. And then under the ad creative, we've just seen that. And we want to make sure listen now is selected. And then finally, you want to make sure and you want to test that your website URL, firstly, the website URL is valid. So click on preview and yes, it does work. More than that, you want to also test that it plays the playlist. So if you click on play, yes, it does play the playlist, which is good news. You want to actually make sure that the pixel for New Pop is accurate. So what I'm going to do now is I've got access to links. I'm not sure if you need to be a curator to have access to links in Submit Hub. I've got a link here for New Pop. There you go. And I know, because I've checked this already, I know that this pixel marries up with this pixel. It doesn't show you the pixel here and you can't choose it for some reason, but they've got to be the same. You've got to make sure that the link that you use in the ad, which is here in the destination of the ad, is the same as what's in here. Now, in terms of sharing, I use Submit Hub to create my landing page. You can use any one you want. You can use HypeDit. You can use, I think ToneDen is still around. There might be some others that you can use, but I'm really happy with Submit Hub. I think they're fantastic. They're always improving and developing their platforms. And once again, you may not need to be a curator to have access to this, but I'm not sure at this point. So what I do is I click on sharing options. I've got all of these different options. I have chosen the most fast one, as you've got short, subdomain, etc. I've chosen fast. It is exactly the same link as that, as you can tell. So yeah, everything lines up. So you want to make sure you check all that stuff. And let's just quickly go back in there and yeah, you can see the results, which I've already talked to you about. So if you guys got any questions at all about how I do the ads, how I promote my playlists, I'm here to help. Obviously put the questions in the comments so everyone can see them and we can help each other. Okay, thanks a lot. Bye.